Imagine being blindfolded and told you're going to go on a roller coaster. Fun, right? Not really. Welcome to 2020. Hello, COVID. This is my story. So, imagine this. The start of that roller coaster. You're feeling pretty apprehensive. You're not quite sure how to feel. Do you feel anxious? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel excited about what's going to happen? My first pandemic. I don't know. But, you know, that carriage is slowly going along that track. But hey, I'm here for that ride. I'm going to roll with it. Excuse the puns. So, I've got past that part. I can deal with that. Next comes that dreaded hike upwards, where you're slowly going up that roller coaster. The anxiety is building as you're going up. You're getting higher and higher. You're losing control. You're at such a slow pace, but you're not able to go backwards or stop that tension building from inside you. Do I scream? Where is this taking me? Do I suppress how I'm feeling? What is going to happen? Nobody is able to tell me. No one is with me on this roller coaster. I'm basically by myself. Lockdown. That's that next part of that roller coaster. It's that insane descent downwards where you can barely see through that G-force. Those twists, those turns, that loop-to-loop that seems to just turn your head and your stomach completely upside down. You're out of control. That was what I struggled with the most. That sense of that loss of control drove me mad. I didn't know how to feel. They cancelled my exams. They'd turned my lectures onto online teaching. How is that going to work? As a student midwife, how am I meant to learn online? No one could tell me. My elective Uganda placement was cancelled. It still is cancelled. It's still not going to happen. No one told me it was going to be like this. No one told me this is how it was going to be. I suddenly feel really trapped in this harness that I've got on. I'm not safe. I'm not safe. I can just feel the anxiety in me slowly building, and this harness is getting tighter and tighter among my chest. I don't know what to do. People are buying toilet rolls from all the shops. They're sold out. People are queuing outside. Flour has gone. Come on, flour? Everyone seems to be a master baker at doing bread. I did bake a little bit, but you know, I tried to do something that consumed my time other than worrying about what was going to happen. Clearly I could not get my hair cut. Featuring my no fringe. So I'm past this part of the roller coaster now. I can feel it slowing down. I'm able to see a little bit clearer. I can see beyond that coaster and some of those blue skies. Maybe it isn't so bad after all. All those loops have gone. It's slowly getting to that end part where you can see that you're going back to the start again. Is that the end? Or are we going to go back round?
With all this free time, I'm going to be super productive. I'm going to get loads of jobs done. I'm going to clean everything. I'm going to hoover everything. I might gloss all the skirting boards in the bathroom to finish that off. I might even strip some wallpaper. So much time. I'm going to get so much done. This is going to be great. First lot of jobs done. Well, at least I made it out of bed today. That's a bonus. What shall I draw? Let's have a go at growing some veggies, shall we? do with all this artwork? But also, what shall I design next? Oh, this is so much fun! What am I going to do with all of these? I'm going to use all this free time to get fit. I'm going to start running, do lots of exercise, eat lots of healthy food. It's going to be great. Well, at least I made it out of bed today. That's a bonus.
At last, we can start to go out a bit more now. Go on a social distance walk with a friend. Meet friends in the park for a social distance picnic, with cake and bubbles, of course. Shops are starting to open. IKEA is going to be bloody packed. Then it'll be restaurants and pubs. Everyone out for the quick drink after work on a Friday. Then they'll have the, oh my God, how much should I drink Saturday morning hangover? Although, I guess that's not stopped. Everyone's just done it at home at half the cost. Still, it'd be nice to do it with friends. And it's so much better when everyone feels bad the next day. And holidays, yippee! Although I dread to think what people's beach bodies are like. I know I've put on a few pounds. So everyone is so excited. Everyone thinks it's fab that life is starting to get back to normal. Everyone except me. You see, I don't want back to normal. Back to life, to be back out there. If that's what normal was, you can keep it. I want to keep my peace. I have loved this time on my own, the quietness, my head not filled with stuff. No expectation of life from me or others. No pressure to do this and that, to be here or there. The thises and the that's, and the heres and the theres just haven't existed. And it's been lovely, bloody lovely. I haven't had to split myself in two to please other people, or do everything at 100 miles an hour. Life was crazy. We made it crazy. So the thought of what was once so normal to me is now so scary. But I found a new normal, and I like it. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's not crazy, it's better. Better for me. I just hope I can keep hold of it.
It's hard being a single mum, especially during lockdown. It's more harder because I'm at home all day. I don't think that's a good thing because they're driving each other crazy. It's just like food shopping. I've got to take them with me. Normally they're at school, but they can't, so it's been a lot of nightmare. What? No, you can't. You should just have lunch. You can't be already hungry. What was that? Oh yeah, that's right. On my way to Morrison's. I can't take the bus now, so it's even more longer a walk. The kids moaning, crying, wondering how long it's going to be. The feet is hurting. It's a nightmare. So finally get there, and the queues to Morrison's all across the car park. Zigzags everywhere. So when we get in the queue, I've got to wait extra half hour. And of course, the kids are now fighting because they're super bored. Now getting fed up and she's playing with the chains. And it's a nightmare because I'm now getting the hands sterilizer. And I gotta clean her hands. Make sure they tell her to keep in between everything else. And I got parents look at me tight and just look like ashamed. So we finally get in there, and what do they see? Of course, the magazine stands. So they're rushing along there, and I tell them, stop, don't go. But they didn't listen to me. So when I get there, I tell them, no magazines, no things. What's Wyatt see? Of course, the Paw Patrol magazines. And he says, Mummy, Mummy, and I said, no, Wyatt, you're not having one. I don't have the money. And what do you think he does? He has a tantrum on the floor. So I decided to grab the kids and drag them along. What, Alexia? No, what? I said it's his turn. If you can't share, I'm just going to take it away. Stop! Oh, where was I? Oh yes, grabbing the kids and going around the store like a crazy loon. Put anything into my trolley. Everything and everything, but making sure the things that I actually needed on my list, because I did not want to go back to shops again. So my anxious just went through the roof, anxiety, everything. And yes, what happens? I forget the milk. I'm gone past the milk. And of course, there's only a one-way systems with all the boxes on the floors, so where I've gone past it, I've got to go all around the shop. So instead of me going all around the one-way system, I decided I've had enough. I'm gonna go straight back, go across, don't care. And what happens? I've got everybody staring at me, looking at me, thinking, why? That I'm an idiot. But not when you've got 2 kids and you just want to grab the last item and get them and line up in the queue, because you've got one long queue to wait. Wyatt, Alexa, I don't know what's for tea. Please just give me 10 minutes to myself and then I'll have a look in the fridge. So where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. I was on my way home from Morrison's, carrying 6 bags. 3 in one hand, 3 in the other. Oh, it's a nightmare. Trying to make sure I let the kids stay by my side. They don't run off. Wyatt doesn't run off. Trying to keep up with them because they want to run. And it's just now that we're getting to the traffic lights. I'm just kind of more anxious. I was like, Wyatt, don't move. Stay there. Just getting in after finding the keys to my bags. Right down the bottom, stress and all that. So I just housed the kids, go into our room, on the TV, let me pack the bags. I was nearly in tears, my back was hurting at this times and it's just cold, everything. And I could just... Right, alright, I'll go get tea on now. Like I said, it'll be whatever's in the fridge. Sums on my day.
I want to be a poet, to escape to wild, deep places, to be reckless. I want to be a poet. Here is my garden, my quiet place, my poet's place, a thinking space. Here is a sacred way of seeing my world. The thick green, grass green of peas and beans, fat leaves of lettuce growing determinedly. Hear the blackbird, like a daily call to peace. It lures me and I'm captivated. Can you hear it? A song so blatant and pure and sweet and free. The bright, beckoning, singing sound bounces along the branches, flings itself upon buildings, walls and windows everywhere, shouting into the light, melody rushing headlong into my world, our world. Here, in this place, I have talked, I have sung, I have played and planted. I have moved the earth with my hands. I have protested and waited. I have cried for a friend who has gone. I have been silent. I have thought and understood. I have written poetry.
This morning, I thought I'd killed my housemate. I mean, they say being on your own for long periods of time can send you doolally, and I'm pretty sure I have gone doolally. I like that word, doolally. Doolally. I wonder how it's spelt. These days I find myself wondering about this kind of thing a lot. Anyway, back to my housemate. He's been a real pal. I mean, there's not many housemates who are okay with seeing you on the loo or in the shower, but mine really doesn't mind. He's quite used to it. In fact, knowing he's okay with it, seeing me starkers, gives me a bit of a boost. When you're on your own, you do wonder what others would make of your flabby bits. Well, all your bits, really. But my housemate makes me feel totally acceptable. You're probably wondering what happened. Well, it was this morning. I decided to dye my hair. Again, you see, that's not something I do in front of just anyone. There's something immensely private about covering up the greys. Well, for me anyway. Some people don't care. They've dyed their hair different colours all their life and are cool with it. Well, they're usually just cool, full stop. I remember watching cool people like that when I was coming home from school. My mother called them a punk rockers, and I asked her if I would be a punk rocker when I was a teenager, and she told me she hoped not. I didn't. But I kind of wished I had. Being on your own, stuck inside for a long time, does make you wonder what you've missed out on. Back to Spencer. That's his name, my housemate. So he's sitting on the edge of the bath and I'm telling him what I think of lockdown. That it just feels a bit OTT because nobody I know has got this bug we're trying to hide from. And I'm telling him how pleased I am with my toilet roll collection and how clever I was to have booked a delivery slot. When suddenly, he's just not there anymore. Gone. Completely vanished. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I bored him to death. But I was worried about something far worse. I was nearly sick with worry, palpitations and everything. I'd warned him ever since he'd been with me. Whatever you do when I'm having a shower, don't go near the plug hole. I wiped the suds from my eyes as best I could and I turned off the tap. Then to my horror, tangled amongst my hair was his tiny, black, scrunched up body. Well, what do? CPR, that's what you do. The adrenaline kicks in. I try to concentrate. I put Spencer on the windowsill and blow onto his lifeless body. Nothing. Again! I think I see a leg move, but it might have just been me breathing heavily. I mean, how do you tell if you successfully resuscitated a spider, eh? It looked absolutely hopeless. So I stopped. I left him there and walked away. Is killing a spider murder? Interesting question again. I mean, who's to say? I wouldn't be put in prison for killing a spider, but who's to say I shouldn't be? I mean, if you were Spencer's mother or son, wouldn't you want some justice done, eh? Eh? And then I think of all the bugs I must have stepped on, all the flies I've swatted, all the wasps I've sprayed, and I'm having a panic attack. The truth has come out. I'm a really bad person. It was hard the rest of the day. Kind of black. I had that tight knot you get in your stomach when you're anxious. I get that a lot in lockdown. And I start having an identity crisis. Am I the good person I thought I was, who goes to work and cares for sick people? Or am I evil and conniving and capable of murder? Or am I both? Can you be both? So I get to the point where I'm bursting for the loo, and I have to face it. I have to face Spencer, dead Spencer. Up the stairs, into the bathroom. I lift my eyes to the windowsill, heavy-hearted, but he's not there. He's not there. The window is closed, so he can't have blown out. I dare to peek down into the bath, and there, to my absolute amazement, on all 8 legs by the plug hole is, yes, you've guessed it, Spencer in all his glory. I tell you, I felt like Mary Magdalene. It's tough, lockdown, but it does make you see things differently. Ask questions you wouldn't normally ask. Appreciate life and company and spiders. I think we'll all come out stronger in the end.
The main difficulties I've been facing since the lockdown is not being able to attend any gigs or festivals, as I get all my frustrations out and they take me away from all the negativity. And not being able to see any of my mates down the pub for drinking a chat and any other social gatherings we may attend. But when there's a downside, there is an upside. I can still talk to him through social media, and I have plenty of things in my room and my house to keep me occupied and I enjoy doing, such as writing and recording my own music, listening to my favourite bands and discovering new ones, watching my favourite films, playing my favourite video games, going for a walk, lifting weights, sewing patches on my metal vests, and cooking. I've been doing a lot of cooking, and will be doing more. The things I'm hoping to achieve by this year is getting my music out with my bands and gigging and touring by next year and many more years to come, and passing my driving tests and starting my own business up and being able to drive to gigs that I'm either attending or playing. And I'd like to thank those for supporting the arts, because without you there would be no gigs, no festivals, no any other form of social gatherings, social events, community theatre, for example. There'd be none of that. And no markets, no fairs, because without those, there would be nothing to make us happy and to wash all troubles away. So I thank you for that. And I'm hoping you are all staying safe, you're keeping well, and you're keeping contacting with all your friends and family. So I thank you, and stay safe.
Lockdown days. No boundaries, breaking rules, reading till midnight. Writing poems, writing rhyme, and no rhyme, just whatever comes. Forget the spelling and full stops, just think of the words. Beautiful words, beautiful world. Walks in wild flower woods, climbing trees, scraping my knees. Skipping through streams, I'm off the lea. Catching a swing before it races away, learning the ways of the wild. Kicking leaves, caring for trees. Planting my garden, watching it grow, measuring the sunflowers, cutting courgettes, sitting on the wall, podding peas. Delicious, waiting for the cucumbers to grow. Go-kart races, pulling faces at my dog, running beside me, always beside me, loving me, my shadow. No. Lockdown days, I'm wild, I'm free, spinning, falling, jumping, swinging. Run with me, there's so much to see, there's so much to be. I'll be me.
March 2020. A day I won't forget in a while. The week before, me and the girls were talking in work about what was going on all over the world. Sophie said, don't worry about it. We've had worse. We've had Ebola, swine flu. We'll be fine. She's been with the nursery about 10 years. Sophie said, yeah, it's just the flu. It'll all blow over. You know what the media's like, making everything sound worse than what it really is. I mean, I agreed. Even though I'd been watching the news every single day and following everything, I still couldn't shake off that it wasn't going to be as bad as it was. Then it happened. 8 p.m. came around and I didn't want to do it, but I turned on the news. I wanted to see what Boris had to say. What was going to happen next. And there he was, the Prime Minister, declaring that the UK was now in lockdown. Everything was to shut, only essential travel allowed. I froze, sat on my sofa, watching this unfold before my eyes. I didn't know how to feel. Don't get me wrong, I know that going to war is a lot worse than going into lockdown, but I feel like maybe I felt an inch of what maybe they felt like that night. Not knowing what was coming next, the unknown. Then my phone went off. Sophie, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Sarah, I don't believe it. We are in lockdown. For how long? No, I didn't reply to Sarah and Sophie. I didn't know what to say. I froze. I could feel my eyes filling up with tears and I didn't know what to do. I know we're not going to war. Lockdown is a lot better than going to war. But it was the fear of the unknown, not knowing what was coming next. I live on my own, you see. Thinking that I wasn't going to see anyone face to face, have that social interaction with people for months, weeks, days even, was a really scary concept. Over the next few weeks in lockdown, I went on walks, did quizzes, had a birthday. However, I couldn't help but be worried, stressed. Would I even get paid this month? And if so, how much? Did I even work out the 80% right? Would I even be able to buy food this month? Or pay my rent, my mortgage? Everything I've worked so hard to achieve could be gone overnight, just like that. And now, lockdown season. I mean, I should be happy, right? I get to see family, friends again. I get to socialise. At a distance, of course. But I'm scared. What about if the numbers rise again? What about if I get ill or one of my family or friends get ill? What about if I can't say goodbye to them? Will we ever get back to normal? When will this all end?
Not just a number. Lockdown was kind of strange, kind of funny. Stay home, stay safe, buy tons of pasta and loads and loads of toilet rolls, just in case coronavirus gives you an aversion to any kind of food apart from pasta, or the need to spend weeks and weeks sitting on the toilet using reams and reams of toilet paper. We lived in a virtual world where we did puzzles, we played games, we did virtual tours, went to Longleat, Buckingham Palace, Edinburgh Castle, which was really, really interesting. We baked and baked even more, and I learned not to watch Joe Wicks. Extremely painful. We watched the updates and the death toll just kept rising. More people were getting sick. Who were they? It didn't feel real, but the threat was there. I was too afraid to go out, too afraid to go shopping. But luckily enough, I had somebody that would do all that for me. FaceTime brought tears and sorrow, talking to my family, my children, my friends. We missed them terribly. And still, we watched the updates. The death toll was creeping up. More people were getting sick. They were just numbers. But still, I was afraid. By the 21st of April, there were 17,337 deaths in hospitals in England, and there were 1,043 deaths in care homes. And that was the day that COVID knocked on my heart. 1,043 in care homes. All these people were somebody's parent, somebody's friend, somebody's auntie, somebody's uncle, somebody's sister. Who was number 9? Number 22, 500, 600, 717, or even 1,043. These were not just numbers. They were real people. And one of those numbers was my mum.